So,
what letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right. Welcome to the Patriot Hour. It is Tuesday, February 19th, 2019, folks. We got some new QAnon, Q clearance, breadcrumbs, updates, drops. We're going to get right into them. So take a minute here to say thank you to all the subscribers, all the people that have been here since the beginning, those of you that have come throughout, and those of you here today. QAnon, what is it? What are we talking about? What is this guy talking about here? Take a look around the channel. Take a look around the internet. Tons of other YouTube channels going over this. Careful who you follow. Careful what you read. Read it all. Listen to everybody. Believe none of it until you can connect all the dots yourself. All right. That's what we promote here at the Patriot Hour. Thinking for yourself, connecting all the dots, and coming to your own conclusions that only you can come to by doing all the research and paying attention. It's the biggest thing going on. All right, let's jump into these here. I've got a few to go over. Last one I went over was 2806. Came out late last night, and I just happened to be up. So 2806 was the now Russia collusion is proven a lie. When did the trials for treason begin? Okay, we're going to move up here to 2807. Welcome to the real world. 10:47 a.m. In the brackets, topic, taxpayer theft. Insider versus outsider. Retain control versus lose control. Kennedy was an outsider, assassinated, in the brackets. Reagan was an outsider, assassination attempt, in the brackets. POTUS is an outsider, in the brackets, classification high. High level classified. How much money, in the parentheses cash, was sent by the Fed to Iraq for the Iraq War? A couple of different articles here. The Guardian. How much U.S. sent? $12 billion in cash to Iraq. Watched it vanish. Special flights between its tones and banknotes, which disappeared into the war zone. Reuters here. U.S. sent pallets of cash to Baghdad. 4-minute read. This came 12 years ago. February 6th of 2007. Washington, the U.S. Federal Reserve sent record payouts of more than $4 billion in cash to Baghdad on giant pallets aboard military planes shortly before the United States gave control back to the Iraqis. Lawmakers said on Tuesday. So the money, which had been held by the United States, came from Iraq oil exports, surplus dollars from the UN, run oil for food program, and frozen assets belonging to the ousted Saddam Hussein regime. Bills weighing a total of 363 tons were loaded onto military aircraft, and the largest shipments ever made by the Federal Reserve, said Representative Henry Waxman, chairman of the House Representative Committees on Oversight and Government Reform. Who in their right mind would send 363 tons of cash into a war zone? But that's exactly what our government did. The California Democrat said during a hearing reviewing possible waste, fraud, and abuse of funds in Iraq. On December 12th, 2003, $1.5 billion was shipped to Iraq initially, the largest payout of U.S. currency in Fed history, according to an email cited by committee members. It was followed by more than $2.4 billion on June 24th of 2004 and $1.6 billion 3 days later. The CPA turned over sovereignty on June 28th. Okay, if you want to read that full article, it'll be in the link. We got a CNBC article. I think we're getting the point here. How much money, cash, was confiscated from the Iraq Central Bank? That's an interesting one. Saddam Hussein's billion-dollar bank heist. A look at history's greatest heist and most intriguing robberies. When American-led forces first entered Baghdad in early April 2003, looters had already hit the Central Bank of Iraq, the fortress-like structure housing much of the nation's treasure, including its foreign currency reserves. Troops found burst pipes and blazing fires, but the looters had been unable to penetrate the bank's main vault or access its deposits. It turned out, however, that someone had already made a hefty withdrawal from the building to the tune of around $1 billion, easily making this the largest bank heist in history. Around 4 a.m. on March 18th, the day before American cruise missiles began to rain down on Iraq capital, 3 large trucks pulled up to the central bank, and for several hours, a steady stream of metal boxes filled with some $900 million in U.S. $100 bills and $100 million in euros were loaded into the waiting vehicles. The heist didn't require guns or explosives, just a handwritten note handed to the bank's governor, insisting that the extraordinary measure was necessary to prevent the money from falling into the foreign hands. The man delivering the signed note was Qasem Hussein, the head of Iraqi security forces. The signature of the note, his father and soon-to-be deposed Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. Qusay. So that was Qusay. The man delivering the signed note was Qusay. Because you had Hussein and Qusay. Or Qusay and... can't even remember. Anyway, those were his sons. So there you go, folks. That is... when $650 million turned up to be a false wall of the palace belonging to Saddam Uday. So you had Hussein and Uday. Qusay and Uday. All right. Example not intended for public awareness. New York Times. Investigation into the missing Iraqi cash ended in Lebanon bunker. So this Stuart W. Brown Jr. left, a special inspector general who examined corruption and waste in Iraq. Not long after American forces defeated the Iraqi government of Saddam Hussein in 2003, caravans of trucks began to arrive at Andrews Air Force Base outside of Washington on a regular basis, unloading an unusual cargo, pallets of shrink-wrapped $100 bills. The cash, withdrawn from Iraqi government accounts held in the United States, was loaded onto Air Force C-17 transport planes found for Baghdad, where the Bush administration hoped it would provide a quick financial infusion for Iraq's new government and the country's battered economy. Over the next year and a half, $12 billion to $14 billion was sent to Iraq in the airlift, and an additional $5 billion was sent by electronic transfer. Exactly what happened to that money after it arrived in Baghdad became one of the many unanswered questions from the chaotic days of the American occupation, when billions were flown into the country from the United States and corruption was rampant. All right, so again, we got to move on. So if it worked in Iraq, why not replicate in Iran? How much money and cash was sent to Iran? $400 million cash transfer. Remember that on the tarmac? U.S. paid Iran $1.3 billion 2 days after $400 million cash transfer. The Obama administration said Wednesday it paid $1.3 billion in interest to Iran in January to resolve decades-old dispute over undelivered military sale, 2 days after allowing $400 million in cash to fly to Tehran. So there you go, folks. This is just who controls the distribution of funds, who accounts for the funds, who has access to the funds, who really has access to the funds. Do funds return in the form of political donations? Do funds return in the form of massive donations to foundations and or institutes? Do funds return in the form of offshore bank accounts for future payments and payoffs? Replicate. Environment, green, aid, assist, etc. No honest. Environment, green, and aid assist. No honest control in place. No checks and balances in place. No safeguards in place. Threat of an outsider becoming president is huge. Loss of control, then. This is a video link to the Trump speech, the one that they always link to. Trillions of dollars at stake, controlled by the group of interest, special interest, groups of special interest, illusion of democracy. In the brackets, welcome to the real world. We cannot afford to lose this rare opportunity to right the wrongs. We, the people, must reclaim what is rightfully ours. We must rise. We must fight. God bless the United States of America. 2808. QAnon is 100% coming from the Trump administration. Thank you, Patriot. Where we go one, we go all. It's a long video, 29 minutes. So check that out. And again, this link will be down below. All right. 2809. Got a mobile Twitter here. New exclusive Trump admin launches global campaign to end the criminalization of homosexuality in dozens of nations where it's still illegal to be gay. U.S. officials tell NBC News, a bid aimed in part at denouncing Iran over its human rights record. So Trump administration launches a global effort to end the criminalization of homosexuality. Now, but fake news pushes a narrative that POTUS is any one of a number of things, folks. Hashtag Wake Up America. All right, so there you go. 2810. This came at 1:41 p.m. this afternoon. We got start from the beginning. Well, up here we got in the parentheses a /PB. Start from the beginning. Small sampling of proofs. Patriots in control. You are the news now. 2811. This came at 1:48 p.m. We got an anonymous. In control of what? ? Nothing. That's what. Got a link here. Are you ready? Shill. Survival of the fittest. Military channel. Be one of these awesome videos. In control of the military. Not live. All right. Are you ready, Shill? Survival of the fittest. 2812, we are Q. A repost of this. Him walking down during inauguration. We are Q JPEG. It came at 2:18. We are at 3:36 p.m. right now. Eastern Standard Time, 2:18. All right, and this one came at 3:02, 2813. Again, another YouTube watch. And this is Joe DiVangio discusses McCabe's 60 minutes interview. 14-minute listen. So again, all these links, folks, will be right down below. I'll do an update here. 2813, 2813 drops, updates, posts since the beginning. And there's nothing more. Just making sure. All right. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed, each and every one of you worldwide. And we'll see you back here real soon on the next Patriot Hour update video later this evening. Any more Q, anything breaking, we'll go over it. We'll cover it. Make sure you're subscribed. Take a look down below for all the links. That way you can watch everything in full. All right. We'll see you back here real soon. Have a great evening.